into the tubing by pushing it in. Okay. Now where's the cap? Here it is. So this cap is going to go in here. So now we have our clock. Okay. So when you have this reservoir, let's put this over here. When you have this reservoir full, do not tighten the cap on it. Nope. You won't get a flow. Okay. Never plug this in until you have everything connected, because it's going to flow out. Okay? So I happen to have a 8-French sheath. Okay? So I will use this to go inside here. Okay? Okay? No, we're talking, this is indigo, so we're going to do a DVT. Okay? So I'm going to take my dilator out. Okay? So this is the way I have it. Now, I'm going to take all this off and go from the scratch. Okay? So I'm doing an in-service for people that have never done anything with indigo. So what I'm going to do is, first and foremost, I'm going to talk about making sure this is seated in here very well. It will not go on. This is not in here very well. My pump is on. Okay? So then, I always want to make sure my dial is turned to the right, so you get maximum suction power. If I turn it down to the left, your suction will go down. You want to always turn to the right. I always keep this on because you don't want dirt or somebody potentially spilling something into here. Okay? Then my canister comes out of my box like this with the filter already attached. I take this off, I put this on here, I put my filter on here. Now I test my machine. I don't test my machine this way. I put this on because now all my connections are there before I test it. I turn the pump on, I put my finger over here, and I make sure my gauge is going negative. So then I'm doing that, it's going to the negative. Okay? Eventually it will get to somewhere about minus 28, but it has to take out all this air. But I know it's going that way, so I know my pump works. So my pump is working. Okay, now, here's the thing. My aspiration, oh, I got two of them. This is mine. This is mine. Keep this here. So my aspiration tubing comes out sterilely on the on position. First thing, you switch it off. Hand this to the non-sterile person so they can go and plug it blue to blue. Okay? Now, I can turn this on. I can have this in the off position. No, this one here. In the off position, it's not hurting the pump. It's even best this way, especially when we are starting to talk about stroke, is having this off and have this on so it builds up the pressure so we have a great suction. So we're applying this for indigo as well. Have the pump on, have this off, so it's building up pressure. Okay? So that's good. All right? Here's a sheath. It has a cross-cut valve. That's not good. But that's all we have to work with right now. So I am always going to do two things. I'm going to do a test with just aspiration, and then a test with using the separator. Okay? Every Cat 8 has two of these peel away sleeves. You put that on, and you're going to use this to puncture this. Okay? So before I plug this in, I don't want to. I can hook up my tubing so I don't get wet. So I'm going to hook up my tubing back here for aspiration only. We can go ahead and plug that in here. Oh, we need a. Where's the? Yeah, go ahead. There There you go. I'm gonna plug this in here. Okay, now I'm gonna turn this to about 40. I'm gonna do this about 40. Okay, just because if I don't, you'll get a lot, you may push this out, okay? So I'm gonna open this up and see if there's any water. Here comes the water, so that's good. Now we got it primed. Now, this sleeve is gonna protect the tip as I puncture it in here. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and slide this through. Then I'm going to slide this back. So I need to use it again. I got to use it again. Okay? So this will get clogged. I want to slide this all the way to the back, and I can use it again. Now I'm going to take my catheter, push it out into the artery, and we want to start above the clot. Okay? I'm going to turn my pump. Oh, what's wrong? Pump's not working. My needle's not going.
You have to turn it right.
Turn it and negative pressure on the canister.
Yeah. So basically, just take this off.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yes.
You have a vacuum lock. Now I'll put that back on.
But you
Now we'll
usually
go
turn
again.
it on, right? Before,
Yeah.
you know, plugging
Yeah.
it in.
Right. But this is a good thing, because sometimes if you turn this on and this off really quick, you will get that vacuum lock. You have a green light, you have no noise. Just take this off, it releases the lock. So we got our negative pressure here, so we're ready to aspirate. In a arterial setting, you want to start above the clot and free flowing blood. Then you want to engage into the clot with your catheter. So we have our aspiration valve off. We're going to turn it on. I've got stuff going through. So we don't want to waste blood, so we're going to advance the catheter. Oh, we have no flow. Stop. Wait. Set a timer. 60 seconds. Now, we're not watching the screen. We're not watching fluoro. We're watching tubing. Is there a flow? So no, we're just going to wait. Let's see if we can get any clot out. So let's just go ahead and wait the full 60 seconds. If there's a little bit of movement, that's good, because it's trying. Okay? So we are at like now 30 seconds. So we're still going to wait our full 60 seconds. If they want it to go longer, that's fine too. Wait 90 seconds. In stroke we say 90, so I try to keep it the same, 90. So we're going to continue to wait, and it's trying. Now, in this model, I buried it pretty far. I would never do that, push it really far into a patient. But in this model I did because it's so powerful it would just suck it up. So we are now at 60 seconds. So now what do? We need to do something, so we want to pull the catheter back. And we pull it back very slowly. So now we're going to pull back, and we're going to watch. We're not watching the screen, we're watching here. Okay, now we're looking at the screen. We know by fluoroscopy we are out of the clot. At this point, nothing's moving, so we know we have this catheter. Oh, looky there. Oh, what do we do? Oh, we're wasting blood. How many cc's a second? How many? 8. Oh, shoot. Let's turn it off. So that's why you take your time. Slowly pull back. And when we talk about stroke, we really want to enforce the slow pulling back. Okay? So that is what you do in aspiration. Now, if I go just above this clot and I turn it on, and I just go a little bit in, there's no flow. But it's starting to move. So when you see movement, you're doing good. And I'm pulling back, and now I know I'm out of the clot, so I probably should just go ahead and pull out. But I see movement. Just be patient. It'll be just like that first pass, pulling it out. Let's just wait and get it all sucked in. Come on. Sometimes just moving the catheter around different corners does it right. We'll just get it, and then we'll do the separator. But it's moving slowly, so we're waiting.
How long do I need to wait?
Anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds would be good, doctor.
That's quite long.
I know, but you gotta be patient.
Faster.
No, it's not. So, do we have a syringe?
Oh,
I'm
gonna take this out. That's fine. Yeah, there it comes. It's coming. It's coming. Don't worry about it. It's gonna come. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
it's coming. So you usually see the clot, right?
In venous, you're gonna see the clot.
Darker color. Darker color.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is a free flow, right?
Nope. HCC is a second.
STC is
Okay. Right, so that's what I do about just doing aspiration. No connections here, just your aspiration tubing directly to your catheter. In an arterial setting, I will always recommend and coach a physician that's just trying to use the catheter. In a venous, lots of clot, I might need to use a separator. So that's what's next. So when I use a separator, I have to introduce a TUI, because you have to have something on the side port to do the aspiration and the wire to go through it. So we're going to introduce the TUI, introduce our separator, and then we're going to put our side port of our aspiration tubing on the side port of the TUI. No connections here. You don't want to have any potential degradation of flow. Okay? So then, how far do I want to have my separator out from the tip? About a centimeter. Yeah. So this can be done inside the body, or it can be done outside the body. I prefer inside the body under fluoroscopy. Your torque device is not for torquing, it's for marking. It's about a centimeter, so I'm going to lock it down there so that when I push this in, pull it out, it's only going out a centimeter. We don't do this. We want to go in. So we make sure that we have this tight as well. Okay? So what's going to happen, you'll hear, I'll do it inside when we get there. You'll hear a whistling noise if this is not tight enough. It's not hurting anything, it's just sucking in air here. We don't need that. Okay? So we're going to introduce back into the pump the system. We don't want to leave our separator out because we could damage the tip while we put it in. Okay? So we're going to put this in, and we're going to slide this in. And I would prefer to have a TUI on the back end of this, but I don't have one. So I prefer a destination with a TUI. So now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to advance this ahead of the clot. Okay. Now we have our TUI tight. I'm going to untighten it and let you listen to it. So I'm going to Hear that whispering? Your tui's not tight enough. You're not getting suction. So I'm going to tighten this up. Now I get suction. Now I'm going to go ahead and advance it in. No flow. Then I'm going to advance my separator out, and I'm looking here. Okay, now I need two people. I need somebody to turn this, and I'm going to do this. So go ahead. Turn this. Keep turning it. There you go. See now? I get flow, so I got flow. What are we doing? We're wasting blood. You need to go into clot, so you got to push it in. Yeah, you got to push it. See, that's why. Here, let me take this back a little bit. You need to push this in. We're wasting blood. 8 cc's a second. We need to be no flow. No flow. So I'm working this. I got flow starting to come, so you got to be turning, and you got to turn it this way to get the torque. Yeah. Oh. And see, we're just. And see, here comes the clot. We just saved the leg. 8 cc a second. Turn it off.
Success.
Turn it off.
Yes.